I woke up to the sound of drawers sliding open. The soft rustle of clothes being packed. At first, I thought I was dreaming, the kind of nightmare that follows you from sleep into the waking world. Then I saw him, my husband, Michael, standing in the half-dark, stuffing shirts into a suitcase. Michael. My voice cracked. What are you doing? He froze, the fabric clenched in his fist. Go back to sleep. Hannah. You need your rest. My rest. The word burned. I pulled myself up, wincing as my legs refused to move the way I wanted them to. The wheelchair sat near the dresser, as always, within reach. I dragged myself into it, my heart pounding. You're leaving. He sighed, like a man tired of repeating himself in his head. It's not what you think. Then what is it? My fingers trembled against the wheel rims. You're packing at 3 in the morning. He didn't look at me when he said it. I can't do this anymore. Silence swallowed the room. The ceiling fan ticked softly above us. I could hear the faint hum of the refrigerator from the kitchen, the sound of our life still running as if nothing had changed. You can't do what anymore? I asked. He finally turned to face me. His eyes were red, maybe from tears, maybe from guilt. Us. I've been trying, Hannah, but I'm exhausted. You need more than I can give. The words sliced through me, sharp and cold. You mean since the accident? He said nothing. He didn't have to. It had been 9 months since the car crash. One rainy night on the highway. My spine crushed, my legs useless. Michael was the one driving. He walked away with a few bruises and a shattered expression that, at first, I thought was love. Maybe it was guilt all along. You promised, I whispered. You said we'd face everything together. I meant it, he said softly. But you don't see what it's done to me. The sleepless nights, the constant stress. I'm drowning. And I'm supposed to understand that my husband wants to abandon me because I'm too much work. He flinched. Don't say it like that. How else should I say it? My voice broke. You're trying to sneak out while I sleep. He rubbed his face, pacing now. I didn't want to hurt you. I was going to leave a note. A note. I laughed, but the sound came out like a sob. After 10 years of marriage, you were going to reduce me to a note. He dropped the shirt in his hand and sat on the edge of the bed, his shoulders slumped. I met someone, Hannah. The world tilted. The floor seemed to vanish beneath my wheels. She helped me feel alive again, he continued. I didn't plan it. It just happened. I couldn't breathe. The air felt thick, sticky, impossible to swallow. Her name. I managed to ask. He hesitated. Claire. Claire, I repeated, as if tasting poison. From your office. His silence was enough. I had seen her once at the company party, a woman with easy laughter, the kind who looked at Michael a little too long. You used to say I was your reason to live, I said quietly. Now I'm just a burden standing between you and your new life. He stared at the floor. I'm sorry. I wanted to scream, to throw something, to make him feel the weight of what he'd done. But the pain was too deep, too heavy to move through. Instead, I rolled closer, my eyes locking onto his. You don't get to erase me, Michael. Not quietly. Not like this. He looked up, startled by the steadiness in my voice. What do you mean? You'll tell your family, I said. You'll tell your mother, your sister, everyone who supported me through the recovery. Tell them you're leaving your disabled wife for your coworker. He stood, shaking his head. No, I'm not dragging them into this. Oh, but you will, I said, the cold fury in me rising. Because they deserve to know what kind of man you are. He clenched his jaw. You're trying to ruin me. I almost laughed. You already did that yourself. He grabbed his suitcase and stormed out, slamming the door behind him. The echo lingered long after he was gone. I sat in the dark, listening to the silence, the faint tick of the fan, the distant bark of a dog outside. My body was broken, but my mind wasn't. He underestimated that. The next morning, I made the calls. His mother, Ruth, answered first. Hannah. Sweetheart, are you all right? You sound pale. I told her everything. Every word he said. Every truth he tried to bury in the dark. The silence on the other end stretched long, heavy, until she finally spoke. That boy, she said, her voice trembling. After all you've done for him. By afternoon, his sister, Rachel, was at my door, furious. He's at Mom's, she told me. Crying like a child because we all know now. 4 days, Michael tried to call me. I didn't answer. When he showed up at the house, his eyes were wild. Why would you tell them? He shouted from the porch. Because you tried to disappear like a coward, I said through the screen door. You wanted to vanish quietly. I wanted the truth to be loud. He looked like he might cry. You've turned everyone against me. No, I said softly. You did that when you chose to betray me. For a long moment, he just stood there. Then he turned and walked away, the same way he'd planned to that night, only this time, every step was heavy with consequence. Weeks passed. The house was quieter now, but not lonely. Friends visited. Ruth checked in often. Sometimes she'd cry, apologizing for her son's weakness. I always told her she didn't need to. One evening, as I sat by the window, watching the sunset bleed across the sky, an envelope arrived. No return address. Inside was a short letter, written in Michael's familiar handwriting. I wanted you to know I lost my job. Claire left me after the truth came out. I don't blame you for telling them. I just wish I'd been half as strong as you were. I folded the letter and placed it in a drawer. It didn't bring peace, but it brought closure. Months later, during physical therapy, I took my first few steps with a walker. My legs shook, my breath came hard, but I stood, on my own. When I got home that night, I sat in front of the mirror, looking at my reflection. I saw scars, yes, but also fire in my eyes. The kind of strength that isn't born from ease, but from being left in the dark and deciding to light your own way. Michael left to find freedom. I found mine in survival. And that, I realized, was the real difference between us.